Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. All right, so we're gonna do a quick fix for you guys if you guys have this problem with your car. Man, I had this problem about a couple of days ago. Didn't have this problem before. A car's been driving fine, no issues whatsoever, and out of nowhere had this no crank, no start issue. It was a weird issue. I was at um I was at a Dairy Queen and had the car parked, got some ice cream. It was kind of a little bit warm out, so I got some ice cream and came back and tried to start it. Everything was working. It came back, tried to start it, and had a no crank, no start issue. Funny enough, I don't believe I even heard a click. So in situations like that, I was looking for, like you guys, I'm looking for like a quick fix to actually get it started so I could get it back, get it back home. Well, or to actually just fix the situation in total. So I was thinking to myself, it's probably something simple. Haven't had an issue with it. There's no check engine light. There's no nothing previous that I could think of that would maybe advance to causing this issue. So I was like, I turned the first of all, what I did was I actually tried a couple of times. I pressed the brakes, push start, and none of that worked. So I was like, I must have did that like 3 or 4 times, and at that point I was thinking to myself, you know what? It's probably the battery. Probably the battery is defective or whatever the situation is. I turned the headlights on. Now, granted, this was like closer to the afternoon. The sun was out, and I turned the headlights on, and I could see the headlights shining. So I was thinking to myself, it's probably not the battery, but I can't be 100% sure. So what I did was I actually looked at the terminals to see whether the terminals were, I don't know, just see the terminals were maybe corroded, or maybe it was loose, or maybe the cable that's connected to the terminal is loose or something like that, because a lot of people have problems like that, but those problems on like cold weather conditions would cause those kind of issues, particularly with your battery and charging issues and stuff like that. But it wasn't very cold out. It was warm for it was still winter, but it was it's kind of a warm day. So I was like thinking to myself, okay, probably not the battery, but I can't be 100% sure. So what I did, because everything worked, the dash lights worked, radio worked, blower motor worked, except it just wouldn't start, and I didn't see anything on the dash that would indicate anything's the problem. So what I did was I actually took my Norco booster jumper and popped it on the battery, turned it on. It was at like 90%, and try to start it. And what happened was, it was the same thing. The lights would be on, but couldn't get it to crank up. There was a no crank, no start issue, same issue. And I was thinking to myself, all right, let's move on to other things. It's not the battery. Let's move on to other things. I was thinking maybe it was the relay, the fuse, the starter. Let's move on and try to figure out whether those things are the issue, because, well, to be honest with you, I was hoping that one of those things could be the issue. So, and funny enough, I actually did do a little thing with my fob key, thinking it might have been the fob key, but I had no problems unlocking the doors, the alarm, and everything actually worked on it. But just if you guys are in this situation, it is your fob key, or maybe the battery in the fob key is dead. What you could do is you could take the remote portion and use the remote to actually push the push start while you have your brakes start your car with the push start, but use the tip of the remote to actually hit the push start button. And I was hoping that resolved the issue, but did the same thing. Nothing. I would still get the lights on the dash, all that stuff. So at that point, I was like, all right, let me just go to the fuse box, see if there's anything, any issues with the fuses. Looked at the fuses, couldn't figure out what the fuses were. No, couldn't figure out whether there was a problem with the fuse, whether there's like any kind of, because I didn't have a fuse tester with me. I was looking at the fuses. I was trying to see whether there was any kind of brownish, any kind of brownish discoloration on the tops. Because normally, if you have a blown fuse, you get that. But I took out a couple of fuses. I forget which fuse I took out, but I did take out a couple of fuses and didn't see any issues with it. And I actually went and pressed in a bunch of fuses, and there was no issues with it. And I couldn't really do much with that because I didn't have a fuse tester. It was kind of like a lost cause, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. So I was looking at the relays, particularly the starter relay. I was looking at the starter relay. I was like, okay, maybe it's the starter. Maybe it's the starter relay that's the problem. So I swapped out the starter relay, with another relay that was similar. I think the other relay I swapped it out for was probably for the blower motor or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I did that, and it had the same issue. It was the same issue. It no crank, no start, all the lights, everything is working. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this situation could possibly be the starter that's the problem. And obviously, if it's the starter, I'm not going to be able to fix it on the spot. Well, I could if I had my tools, but I couldn't fix it on the spot. So I was thinking to myself, what else could cause this problem? And I had an OBD2 scanner, and I knew that it was probably nothing to do with the check engine light or codes or anything, because I didn't have any check engine lights or codes or anything like that. So what I did was I took the scanner, plugged it in, and just ran it just to see whether there's anything came up. And I ran it just to see if anything came up, or whether the ECM had any kind of issues whatsoever, because there's been cases where if there's no communication with the ECM, the code reader wouldn't scan all the way through. But it scanned all the way through, and everything read okay. So at that point, I was thinking about all the times that I've had, thinking about all the things that could actually cause this issue that I could actually fix. I was looking. At the time, I had my 12 volt connected in the 12 volt, and it was powering up a couple of things. It was powering up a tablet, and it was always powering up my phone. And I thought maybe that's the case because, these days, situations like that could cause that situation too. So I took the 12 volt out of the socket and try to start it again, and just ran into the same situation again where it just had the same situation, no crank, no start. So I was thinking, okay, so I was sitting there just thinking, what could be the issue? What could be the issue? What could be the issue that I could actually fix on the spot that could be causing it? So I was thinking, okay, so I had an older Altima 08. I'd done a ton of videos on it. It's a Nissan, and for whatever reason, I think Nissan tend to have these issues, but for this car, I'm not quite sure, but I'll just take a chance on it. And the brake switch, and it's not Nissan, but I'm just saying that it's a car that I had maybe I don't know, close to 10 years ago, and that was the problem. And I was thinking, well, it kind of has the same symptoms, and worth a shot instead of getting it towed and all that stuff. guys don't know what the brake switch is, you guys are gonna have to go under the footwell. This is the footwell under the steering wheel where the brake actually is, and above the brake is the brake switch. Sometimes you have the cruise control switch right next to the brake switch, but it's worth a shot. So I got down there, and it's real easy to take off as far as the brake switch is concerned. Got under there, turned it to the left once, popped it out, and then after that, try to start it, and guess what, guys? It started up. It started up. So I noticed I turned it off, started up, back up again. I noticed, turn it off, started back up again, and if you guys are in this situation, funny thing is, the way you guys know that it's the brake switch is, well, you take it off and then you try to start it. If it starts up, 99% of the time, it's probably the brake switch. Easy fix, easy fix. All right, you wouldn't even have to press on the on the brake pedal for the push start. You just press the push start, because once you take the brake switch off, the sensor is off. So, but you guys can try to, I wouldn't say fix it, but if it doesn't start up, you guys could try to click it manually a couple of times and then try to start it. But I had it working, and got it started up, drove to AutoZone, got another brake switch, swapped it out, popped it in, and that was it, guys. Quick fix. If you guys have this issue, hope that's what fixed your issue. Drop a comment in the comment section, guys. Let us know whether that was your... Now, I'm not saying that this is what's causing your problem, but there's a good chance that that's what's causing the problem. So there's a good chance. And if you're stuck in this situation between a starter having an issue or something else that's hard to diagnose, or you guys won't be able to diagnose it on your own, or maybe it's expensive to fix or something like that, this is pretty much nothing. It's it wasn't a horrible thing, is what I'm saying. You guys know anything about car issues and stuff like that, it wasn't a horrible thing. Swapped it out and we're all good. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave a comment or question in the comment section. Please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up. Appreciate your time. All right, guys, take care.